It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, and we are in Sunset Cliffs to renovate a garden that we installed, I want to say 4 years ago. And so, you know, life has happened here, and our client has had personal issues, hasn't had me as often as, you know, I haven't been here in a while, let's put it that way. So this is what happens, right? When I'm not here. And what you're seeing is a tremendous amount of overgrowth. But what is so incredibly exciting is that everything's fine. You know, it's okay. There's no problem. It's just too much of everything. So also, this client is ready to transition into a more of a specimen look, and I concur 100% with that. The plants that are the specimens have, you know, matured to the point where they really should be showcased. So we're going to be editing out a lot of the filler. I brought some exciting new things to add, and it's just going to be an absolutely brand new experience. This aloe ferox, as much as she loves the bloom every year, this is just not healthy, and it just does not look good, and it's been languishing almost since day one. So we've made the executive decision to remove this. This Euphorbia trigona is in great shape, but she just doesn't like it, you know, and that's okay. So that's coming out and will be rehomed, and we'll put something new in its place. You know, we have issues like this where these little echeveria are so desiccated. So what we're going to do, you know, when we remove the things that are showing this kind of desiccation, we're going to flag, and then we're going to turn the irrigation on and just be sure that all of the drips are operating efficiently, because it's hard to tell necessarily why this looks this way. This is the middle of July. You know, it could just be because it's hot. So we're not just going to assume more water is indicated. We're going to check. Cotyledons really like this yard. This is the lechuga, and it is big. It's big. It's also real dry. So, you know, we may take pieces of this and reset it. I'm not sure yet, but it's way too much for the spot right now. And then over here on this side, everything here just seems small. You know, like maybe it isn't getting enough to drink. I would like to put some larger things in here and beef this up that way. This little agavoides is stunning. But the rest of it, you know, meh, just nothing very interesting, is it? You know, this little cotyledon has seen better days. The aloes are kind of tired. All of the little soft stuff is burnt. This little Hesper aloe is great. Here's a couple, sneak peek, here's a couple of things that are going to be going into the landscape. This is a spiral cactus that I brought in for this client a few years ago that she's had in the back in a pot. It's going to go in the ground. And this totem is going to be a new installation. Then over here, hottest of messes. Look at this hot mess. We've got a bloomed out Mission to Mars. This was a Plicatillus hybrid, aloe tree, Bainesii plici hybrid, and we installed it as cuttings a couple years ago, pieces, and I don't know, I mean, it was supposed to grow more upright, so I don't know if everything just kind of fell over or what. So I really want to see some height right in here. So that's something that we need to figure out. The client has another Baccarnia recurvata in the backyard, or maybe we move this Baccarnia over here. I don't know, we'll see. But see, just look, you know, yuck, dry, but you can see all of the little you know, all the little drippers, the guys are getting those exposed. And then like this little Ruscia looks great. So it's, you know, it's definitely getting water. We just need to figure out what's going on. I brought a new Mangave Falling Waters and a Navajo Princess to install. Mangaves really, really like this yard. And look at this hot mess. Whoa. First things first, we are going to pull the aeoniums out for sure. And this Dazzlerian longissimum needs to be limbed up. Then this is a redwing that bloomed out and then threw off a ton of pups. Now, there's a lot of mealybug in here, which I don't love, but we are going to take this apart and see how many viable pups we can find. And then we might pop some of the pups in hither and thither. This Aluaudia procera, we need to take a little whip and a chair to this and limb it up. It's just, I don't know, it's a little awkward looking. We've got another little Mangave. I think this is the moonshine one that, you know, has bloomed. Some of it's bloomed out, but there may be some very viable pieces here. I don't know. I see a lot of bloom out, so unsure there. We got a really, really cute pharaoh cactus there that we might move because it feels like it's just a little baby in a corner for me. And then look at this aloe distans, how run amok that is. That all needs to come out, and then we can cut and reset some of that. The guys are gonna hate me if I want to move this Bicarnia. It's big, guys. She big girl, but I think that's probably what I will end up doing. And then, you know, she has some little pots back here on her little patio that also are just really, really tired and could use a zhuzh. So we'll take care of that. Beautiful little aloe Cynthia giddies that are completely lost back here. The rock work was really cool in this garden too. You can't even see it anymore. So this is a, you know, going to be a 2-day reno, and I cannot wait for you guys to see how amazing this garden's going to look when we're done. Okay, a couple hours in, here's an update for you. You can see all the stuff that we took out. We're saving the nice things that are, you know, that we can repurpose, but stuff that's diseased or just tragic will go into the green land waste. Anywho, so let's talk about this. In here, we have a lot of micro in this garden because this used to be so heavy with tapestry, and our client wants to go more specimen now. So we're going to be pulling up all that micro line and just doing traditional 1/2-inch line around the plants that need it. You can see the things that we yanked out, and we are going to be putting things, you know, back. But right now, the idea is, and my little pro tip is, don't worry too much. You know, if you've got a garden that's overgrown or it's just lost its luster and you feel like you need to edit, don't think about what you're going to put back. Don't worry about that. Just take out what isn't working, because it's hard to know what you're going to do until you see it. So have some faith in yourself and in the process, and just rip out what isn't working. And these are succulents, you know, you can always put it back, right? Now look, you can see this beautiful piece of driftwood again, and look at this magnificent barrel. Isn't she something? We're also going through and pulling all the weeds that we see. There aren't a lot, but we're going to get after all of them. This superbum is still so cool. And what I'm going to do to smoke and mirror up here is I will stage, cut some of these off and pop them in to cover up the wood. The client thought there was a jade right here, and she thought by cutting the jade back and exposing the stem to light that it would regenerate, but that's not really how it works. There's a couple of schools of thought. You know, you can rip this all out, cut and reset all of them. I don't recommend that in the summer. I'd wait to do that in the fall or the spring. Or, you know, again, I don't want to do that because I love the way this looks. So I just want to smoke and mirror and cover up some of the stem. So by taking, I'll show you what I mean here. I'm taking a piece like so. I stick it in there. See that? Look at that. And we've covered up some stem, and I'm going to keep doing that, you know, in various places through here until I have the look I want. Now over here, where I cut, well, ripped, this will branch beneath the cut. Absolutely. Will this old wood generate new growth? Sometimes a little at the base, but generally speaking, no. I hope that made sense, and I apologize if it didn't. Okay, then over here, Gordon is being really, really meticulous, cleaning up all the detritus and pulling in all the little weeds. This is another area where we have a lot of micro irrigation that we'll pull out and just ring, you know, with the 1/2-inch line. This is an interesting installation too from the perspective of it being elevated. So the eye level is you know, something to really consider. And the ground level right here, it's very, very visible to the eye. So all of the weeds and all the detritus really needs to be scooped out over there. Oh, and our Baccarnia recurvata was rotten. Dang it. Yeah, they went to take this out and the head fell off. Look at this. Yikes. It happens. No biggie. I'm glad we discovered it now because it was starting to languish, and it would have continued dying back. We wouldn't have known why, and it would have been a whole thing, but now we know. So we just put the viable part of the plant back, and it looks really cute. I'll show you what we did. See here, the guys are pulling out all the micro lines and getting ready to run 1/2-inch line because we aren't doing tapestry in here anymore. It's just going to be specimens. And here's the Baccarnia. Really, really super Dr. Seuss. But it had already figured it out and started to branch from beneath the rot, beneath the part that was rotten. So these are going to continue to grow and floof. And what I love so much about it is how big the foot is, the caudex is, in relation to the head. It's just fun. I love that. I moved this Quichou con. This was in another area of the garden. And now this bed will just be these beautiful specimen plants. Jury's still out, but I'm leaning very much toward eliminating these things. They're ratty. She wanted to get rid of the filler, and I will not disappoint her. So in here, you know, these are areas where we'll have some things that'll be replanted. Then this little stand of sedum isn't offending me at all. You know, it's kind of out of the way. It's colorful. Kevin's cleaning it all up. It had bloomed out, and so there's a lot of dead blooms on it, which are getting cleaned up. But I think we'll just go ahead and allow that. Then over here, we took out all the aeoniums. This area will be replanted, probably with aloe distans and Cynthia giddies and probably some Cameronii maybe. We have a lot of cuttings and things that we can pop in here. I might even put the, I don't know, maybe I'll put this Navajo Princess right here. Maybe. I'll see. Doesn't this Dazzlerian Longissimum look amazing? Miguel and Nate went after this and limbed it up. It's just gorgeous. Now, we limbed up the Aluaudia procera a bit, and we're gonna see this get some more water. As Aluaudia in the warm months, it needs water in order to leaf out. So there's that. Kind of like Petalanthus bracteatus. If you water it in the summer, you'll get leaves and flowers. If you don't, you're looking at just wood. This little pot was buried over here, so I put it here. This is where that used to live. This cactus is going to get put front and center where it can be appreciated. Miguel's working at getting all of these roots out of here. This is where all that aloe distans was. So we'll cut and reset some pieces. This will all get cleaned up. Probably get rid of this ruchia. Yeah, it's, you know, it's starting to make sense. Just keep chipping away at it and you'll get there. So that's my update for now.